Hello YouTube. A lot of this knowledge comes from my course on YouTube, but I'm still gonna share it right here because I believe that it's knowledge that everyone should know. Alright, so the first, wait, let me get a notepad here. The 5 pillars of life. We've got the body, the mind, the contribution. We've got knowledge and social. Let's focus for today's video on the body. Okay, we've got the body. Now the body, let's separate building a great body into three. Sorry, the microphone's just annoying in my eye. Into 3 categories. So we've got nutrition, we've got training, and we've got sleep. Plus we also have other, let's call this others. This is like toxins, I don't know, like plastics, things to avoid plus incorporate. Okay. So let's separate this into 4 categories. Let's dive into the first one, which is nutrition. For nutrition, the best nutrition out there is animal-based. This basically means eating just meat, fruit, dairy, preferably raw dairy, honey, and eggs. This is the pinnacle of human nutrition. This is the most optimal that you can go about being optimally nutritionized, optimally like eating the best diet there is. This right here, meat, fruit, dairy, honey, and eggs. This is the most optimal diet there is. Don't try confusing yourself with other diets like keto, paleo, carnivore. They all include some of these foods, so they might seem healthy at first, but this is truly the diet that completes it all. This has, similarly to how in the last episode, in the first episode, I told you that some people have 1 or 2 pillars missing from their life, and that's why their life is not complete yet. Same thing with here. Like in different diets, they have some of these. Say carnivore, it has meat, it has eggs, but it doesn't necessarily have fruit, dairy, and honey because of the sugars. Paleo might have fruit and dairy and eggs, but it might not have meat. You get me? So most diets are incomplete, but this diet, the animal-based diet, it has everything that your body needs to function optimally. So trust me on this. Trust me on everything that I'm going to say, because this is after 6 years of research, of training in nutrition, and trial and error on myself and others. Trust me that what I'm going to say to you in these videos, these are the most helpful tips on the internet. I'm summing up all of my human knowledge in these videos and this series. So just trust me on this. So eat this to function optimally. Training. Oh wait, we didn't finish it. What about supplements? So that depends which supplements. Let's say protein. Do you need to supplement with protein? Let's see how much protein do you need. So you need around 2 grams. You need 2 grams, 2 grams of protein per kilogram, right? Per kilogram of body weight. Per kilogram of body weight. That is roughly 1 gram per pound of body weight. So measure it with pounds if you're an American, and with kilograms if you're a regular person. So 2 grams per kilogram of body weight is the amount of protein that a human needs to function and progress, especially in building a more muscular physique. How do you get enough to, like, if a person weighs 90 kg like I do, and I need around 180 grams of protein to function and progress in the gym. So how do I eat 180 grams of protein in the gym? Well, that is by eating. Let's say I eat 600 grams of meat in a day. 600 grams of meat is around 23 grams of protein. So 600 grams of protein times, like 6 times 23 is like you get my idea. You need to just eat a lot of meat and a lot of eggs and a bit of dairy in order to complete it. But the main thing is eating a lot of meat, because each egg has like 6 or 7 grams of protein. Meat is chock full of protein. It has like 23, 25 grams depending on the cut of protein per 100 grams of protein. So it's like 25% protein, meat. So eat lots of protein and check yourself if you're reaching your goal, like 2 grams per kilo of body weight, or a pound, or a gram per pound. Okay, so I don't believe that you should supplement with protein, but if you have protein powder and you don't want to waste it, just use it as a treat. You know, we're all humans. We get some sweet tooth. So for protein powder, I suggest just make a sweet treat with it, so it's not completely, shit based. So that's for protein. Any other supplements, I don't believe that you should take, because I think that if you implement, if you implement habits like great nutrition and great sleep, and also healthy habits, and you avoid other bad habits, which we'll talk about later, then you will not need any supplements. You will not need magnesium or vitamin D. You will not need vitamin C if you're eating enough fruit and like kiwis and lemons and stuff. And if you don't, you will not need vitamin D if you're in the sun for long enough. And you will not need zinc, because meat and eggs are full of zinc. You will not need supplements if you eat well, sleep well, and you incorporate and remove healthy or bad habits, respectively. So this is a no. Also about creatine, if you're thinking about creatine, meat has a lot of protein, meat has a lot of creatine in it, so you also do not need any creatine. Like, it's not important. Training. This is a very interesting part. Training, to train. What is the goal? What is the goal with training? The goal with training is to build a great physique that is very aesthetic, it is very strong, it also like respectable and capable in a fight. So we need to train our body to be aesthetic and strong and like beautiful, because our bodies are made to be strong and pretty, beautiful. So we need to build an aesthetic body, one that appeals to the probably like the female eye, female gaze, and also strong and capable to be able to defend ourselves in case a situation happens. That comes from three main training styles. That will come from gym, which will build us the aesthetic side. This will come from martial arts, to build us the strong and capable side, and to proof us, like to be able to be injury proof, to prevent injuries in the future, because we are almost guaranteed to be injured when we go to the gym and martial arts for long periods of time. Then we do flexibility and mobility, and mobility. This is what we need to do. Okay, so I'll cover gym and martial arts and flexibility and mobility in another video. I think separately, because they're all very big subjects, and I don't want this video to be 40 minutes long. So this is what you need to do. This is what you need to know right now. These are the most important. You need gym, you need martial arts, and you need flexibility and mobility in your training styles and your training regime. Sleep. What is the most, I think the two most important concepts regarding sleep is the amount of sleep and the consistency. No, more like regularity. Yeah, that's it. So basically, what I mean is that you need 7 to 10 hours of sleep, and that's a big window, because some people are just biologically hardwired to need less or need more sleep. Especially, it also changes by your weight, your genetic predisposition. It changes by a lot of things. But the amount generally goes by 7 to 10, 7 to 9, 8 to 10 hours of sleep. You should be in bed for at least like 9 hours. Just a second, I'm getting a call. Sorry, I'm back. Where was I? I was on sleep. Okay, so basically the amount of sleep that you need to function optimally is 7 to 10 hours of sleep. You need to be in bed for at least 9 hours of sleep, because research shows that sleep efficiency is at around 80 to 85%. Basically meaning that out of the time you spend in bed, you actually sleep only 80 to 85% of the time. So you need to be in bed for at least like 9 hours, 9.5 hours of sleep to actually get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So do your math on that. But also another concept that is extremely important for sleep is sleep regularity. Sleep regularity meaning just sleeping when waking up, like going to sleep and waking up at the same time every day. Changing your time, especially back and forth, really disturbs your sleep, and you'll find yourself become very fatigued and tired, like every day. If you go to sleep on one day at 9, and then the other day you go to sleep at 11, which is something that you probably do. I do it as well sometimes, but I try to remain from it. That really affects your sleep. And what also affects your sleep is like going back and forth. So if you go to sleep on one day at 9, and then on the next day you go to sleep at 11, and then the next day you go back to sleep at 9, or like even earlier at like 8, and you actually fall asleep, then it disturbs your sleep even more. So what you optimally should do is go to sleep every day at the same time and wake up at the same time. But like that's not possible for most people nowadays in the West. So we should if you go to sleep one day at like an extreme, not an extreme, but at a different time, then what you should do is gradually bring it back down. Gradually, like in an hour. Like an hour difference is not the end of the world. Like it's okay. It's bad. It's not good for you, but it's okay. It won't mess up your sleep, but like 2 hours plus is too much. So gradually bring it back to the average that it was before you you went to sleep earlier or later than usual. Okay, that's for sleep. So you need a correct sleep amount, which is 7 to 10 hours of sleep, and sleep regularity, which is consistent sleep and wake up time. Okay, let's talk about others, because there are a lot of others to talk about. Others, meaning habits that we shouldn't do, habits that we should do, and overall things we should do, like overall things we should. Now let's leave it at that. So overall habits that we shouldn't do is drink unfiltered water. This is because water contains heavy metals, plastics, a chemical called EEC2, which is a hormone, like it's a chemical inside women's birth control, which acts like estrogen. It's what's it called? It's called estrogenic. This is an estrogenic as well as plastics. These are estrogenic, so you should stay away from them. You should ingest, like eat less soy. I think that if you do these, if you just do these habits, like these two little things, just drink like filtered water instead of unfiltered, and you eat less soy, this will encompass most of the bad habits that we do outside of the, of course, like the main things, which is good nutrition, training, and sleep. Habits that we should do, this is very important. Oh, also being sedentary. Being sedentary. Like just staying on your ass most of your day. Sedentary. So you should like go up and get a walk. That is very important. It's crucial for energy, crucial for blood flow, and also great for your overall mental health. Habits that we should do. Get sunlight ASAP after wake up. So this is very underground. Like most people don't know this, but when you get sunlight as soon as you wake up, you fine-tune your circadian rhythm. It's basically your biological clock. And when you get sunlight right after you wake up, then your body stops producing melatonin. It stops producing melatonin when you get more sunlight, and it shifts your brain to understand that right before this time it was sleeping time, and right now it's wake up time. You need to be aware, like awake. If you don't do it, then what happens is sometimes you lay in bed until like 11 a.m. even though you woke up 3 hours earlier, and then the next day you wake up at 11 a.m. Shocking. Why? Because your body thought, like it knew that it wasn't sleeping, but it also didn't register that it was now awake and it needed to function and start the day. So that's what you should do. Get sunlight for like 5 to 10 minutes right after you wake up. What more? Eat hours before bed. At least 3 hours before bed, max. So eating few hours before bed keeps your body from ingesting during the night. Like there is a lot of energy that goes into sleeping and recovering in like during the sleep, and that energy doesn't need to go it does not need to go to ingesting food that you ate during like half an hour before you went to sleep. Furthermore, it makes it harder to go to sleep with a full stomach or like high sugars or something. So I think that these encompass also the most of what you should do uh, with uh, with good habits that you should do and not do. So we've talked about the best nutrition, animal-based. You do not need supplements really. For training, you need to incorporate gym, martial arts, and flexibility and mobility. And for sleep, you need the correct amount, which is 7 to 10 hours, and regularity, which is sorry, and regularity, which is going to sleep and waking up at the same time. You need to stop drinking unfiltered water and just drink filtered. You need to eat less soy, being sedentary. Oh, and also, sorry, I forgot this. Stay away from plastics at all costs. This might put you like crazy, like this. You might seem crazy sometimes for doing this in front of others, but if you stay away from plastic, if you don't stay away from plastics, then you ingest a ton of plastics during your life, and it acts as estrogen. It is an estrogenic, especially some types of plastics more, because some types you ingest them more and they act more quickly and more effectively in the blood. So you should stay away from plastic at all costs because it raises your estrogen levels and lowers your testosterone. Okay, yeah, I think that is a rough. Let's see. Yeah, this is a very rough, but also pretty specific guide on how to get the perfect body. So I hope you enjoyed this and you understood whatever I tried to teach. This is one of the most important pillars of life in tribe and in general modern life. So incorporate just these. Even if you just incorporate some of these and not everything, you will be much ahead of 90% of people in today's world. Godspeed.